welcome to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about Tesla. We're going to look at the daily chart, the weekly chart. Basically we look at the charts to give us a little bit of an edge. It helps us identify where price is going to go in the short term, long term. It helps us remain calm when markets are choppy. It helps us know when we've got a good price, when we can get good risk reward entries and then de-risk as things get a little bit spicy. Other than that, we're going to take a look at the short and long dated open options interest. That gives us a little bit of an insight in what the big boys in the market are doing. We're going to look at the Tesla news, see what's coming on the horizon. Is it exciting? Is there some bad news coming? All that good stuff. Other than that, though, if you can't be bothered to stick around for the main content of this video, I'm still super bullish on Tesla, and that's pretty much the key takeaway. Other than that, my live portfolio there is linked in the description below, and I've chucked it up on the screen there for you. Doing pretty good for the last 2 years there. Okay, so first off, I'm sorry I'm all red and flustered and sweaty. I took the dogs to the park, and it was a little bit hotter than I anticipated. I thought I could beat the sun. Apparently not. I also want to apologize because I said I wasn't going to do any more Tesla Tuesdays, and that was because I was going to shrink down my position weighting so that I could rotate into it more and start building in July. Obviously, it's the 1st of July now, so it's becoming a little bit more relevant. I didn't mean to have such a large gap from YouTube, but just been living life, going on lots of holidays, and it was hard to find time to do it. But yeah, my plan was always to start building my position into year end, and actually the spat that's just erupted between Trump and Elon is playing right into my hand, and hopefully they continue to keep price suppressed, and Q2 I think is also going to help keep price low whilst crypto is allowed to do its thing, and hopefully we can rotate some gains and we will have nailed that plan. But looking at the chart, we've got the red dotted line there. Love it. That's going to be quite a strong support because it does line up with the bull market support band, which is kind of neutral. So I am expecting a bounce here. However, we're having quite the sell-off because of the spat that's happening. So I do expect maybe we are going to break that trend purely based on the kind of childish bickering that we're seeing. But I would love to buy more around 275. That would be absolute gift. I would probably build my position back up 6-7% if that was the case. We got that low, and anything lower, like in this kind of 250 range. Oh my god, I would love to buy it in that range. Don't know if it's going to happen. Fingers crossed they can get catty with each other because I don't think it's going to do. Tesla's going to execute anyway. We'll just have to wait and see. Right, what else is on the chart that I wanted to talk about? Take profits on this one. This is multi-year position for me. Don't really want to be trimming too much. It is super volatile, so it can be fun to swing trade, but the range is getting, I wouldn't say tight. I mean, it's tight for Tesla, but I don't really want to be trading into something that's, up 30%. It's just not very exciting to me, so I'm just kind of faded it out, and I'm going to fade it back in. Indicators, RSI is kind of neutral, MACD plus kind of neutral, flow kind of neutral. So indicators are all saying meh, charts saying meh. Let's look at the weekly. Let me just resize this one so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so this indicators on this one also say RSI meh, MACD plus meh, and flow meh. So it's consistent, I'll give it that. Basically what we're seeing is just some distribution. You've got a lot of bulls that are super bullish on it still, where it's not bringing in new investors. People aren't getting behind the story, not looking at what's happening with this one. I'm a little bit different. A lot of people are super excited about robotics. I'm more interested in energy. I think the battery storage is going to be ultra important to us in the future. Obviously, I don't think Tesla's going to be the only company that's going to be successful in this industry, but the total addressable market is going to be massive on this one. The grid is built for peak capacity. If we can just add some storage to that and distribute it in other times as well, that's going to be really important. Let's take a look at the options market then on this one. We can actually see quite a tight range here on the options market, which is interesting. Where's the measuring tool on this one? 8% range kind of between up and down for market makers is quite tight for Tesla. Normally there's a lot more bigger bets either way, so market makers have a little bit more spread to work with. For some reason the strike bar doesn't line up with the prices, which is annoying, makes it a bit more difficult to read. But we can see a lot of people are shorting it to 300 this week, which they'll probably get it. So not much exciting there. Let's push it out to next month. Actually, when was earnings on this one? When is earnings, should I say? 29th of July. So yeah, 1st of August. Post earnings, a lot of the big boys are looking very bearish on this one, I would say. Most of the strike volume is negative on this one. So as expected, a lot of people will be negative on this one. I think the quarter is going to be quite bad. So that kind of aligns with what I'm thinking. But further out, let's do January 2026. A lot of people still sitting quite negative on this one. And that's changed quite a lot since I last looked, actually. I think the political stuff is starting to have a long-term impact. A lot of people want to de-risk this position into that. So Tesla's going to have to pull something pretty impressive out the bag. They're going to have to be successful enough for people to accept that risk, which is something a lot of investors won't have built into their models. But given enough time, that risk will become saturated. So it's going to be a position of patience for most investors now. Let's go out to... I wish they would make the writing larger on this app because I can barely read it, but January 2027. Volume's a lot more bullish. Really, a lot of the worries are short term on this one, I would say, and some hedging. But really, the options market is not too excited about this one at the moment. So Tesla news, there is a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk more specifically about the Megapack business and how well that's doing. However, when I logged on to do some research, I realized Elon and Trumpy Boy were having a little bit of a spat again. It's all over the debt ceiling, but I thought this was all washed under the bridge, and I think that was the expectation from a lot of the investors. But you know, neither men can let it lie, can they? So I would like to thank them personally for having the opportunity to buy lower, and hopefully they continue having this little spat into year end. I do plan on rotating a lot of my crypto gains from year end into Tesla, so that the longer Tesla price can stay suppressed, the more happy I am with the situation. So this political spat doesn't really bother me at all. Q2 is also going to add some negative fire to the flame, but that depends how much of it gets priced in, how many bulls and bears are still wrestling it out. We looked at the options market. It doesn't seem to be many on either side, really, compared to the normal trading volume. So most people seem to be getting out of this one and being hands off and just letting it do its thing for a while. Pre-market, we did dip under 300, which hopefully it does drop that low during today's trading day, so I'll have a little bit of a nibble, but I'm not going to be wanting to add too much size to it. I'm pretty well deployed against assets. I think they're going to do well into year end. Tesla is not a company that I'm expected to do well into year end. It's going to be more of a 2026, 2027 play. And it's certainly front run some of those gains. But other than that, though, what else do we have on here? Joe Bakdi, I probably slaughtered his name. Tesla is failing. All they have left is a global AI and manufacturing infrastructure, the strongest employer brand in engineering, imminent robotaxi and Optimus launch, and 36 billion in cash. Can't hate that. They're probably not going bust. Everyone that's saying Tesla's going to go to zero, not going to happen. The balance sheet is absolute whopper on that one. Today also we have the jolts. I don't know if anyone's been paying super attention, but out there in the jobs hiring world, a lot of the smaller companies have been starting to have redundancies. Smaller companies have been struggling for a while. There's been a lot of talk of recession coming. It's my belief that a lot of small companies have been in a recession. They've just been in pain. Manufacturing as well has been in pain for a long time, especially in the US. So are we going to see that reflected in the jolts? A lot of big companies as well have stopped hiring. They're streamlining with AI and not replacing people when they leave. My company outside of eToro that I work for has also been doing this, and it's been very noticeable. And it's even when we've lost staff, we haven't employed new staff. So that's something to be aware of. So the jolts are expected to come in weak. I wouldn't be too shocked to see them come in a little bit weaker than that. And obviously, that should increase the chances of rate cut come September. That chances are already super high, but jobs weakness is still going to be bullish for that, and the market will normally interpret that as a good thing. So we might see a pickup if that comes in weak. But strange things happen in this market. I've just put the post from Elon and Trump on there. Read at your own pleasure. And then a little bit of good news for Tesla. The first car delivered itself using FSD. Now this is good. This is going to save not massive amounts for Tesla, but it saves on delivery cost, and it also saves on the person buying the car paying the delivery cost, as some places do charge extra for that if you don't collect the car. So that's also something quite nice for Tesla. Not betting all my money on that being a game changer for Tesla, but like I said, I'm still super bullish for Tesla Energy, the mega packs. There's so many deals coming through, and it's just insane, the growth. I think we saw the mega factory in Lathrop hit 40 gigawatts. That's insane. Samsung unveiled yet another battery storage project in Australia, this time, however, proposing Tesla Megapack batteries rather than its own. Absolute game changer. These will be big revenue drivers as well. What else? Nearing completion on their LFP cell manufacturing factory in North America. That's going to be a game changer as well. That should reduce dependency on China. And there's nothing about that I don't like, because China to me is still risky. I know there's other investors that are super bullish on Chinese stocks, but I don't want to touch it, especially with the potential that Xi Jinping is going to be given the boot at some point, or who knows what. There's just some turmoil going over there. Less risk to China makes me happy. I think that covered everything. That's us all done and dusted for another Tesla Tuesday wrap up. If you enjoyed this content, give the video a like, share it with your mum, your nan, your dog, your dad, whoever, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.